Beis, page 24. Halacha Gimel. No, sorry. Yeah, that's what we're up to. Yeah. Halacha Gimel, page 24. Misham Hareni Nazir. Somebody said he's a Nazir. Nidma Yom Shlosh. We actually read the Mishnah last. I read it over again. Misham Hareni Nazir. Some of you say he's a Nazir. Just generically, he didn't mention specific summer days. Nidma Yom Shlosh becomes Tameh on the 30th day. So says a call. He goes back to the very beginning. He has to start from scratch. Rabbi Lezer says Lo Sasar La Shiva. He only cancels 7 days. Now, what this means, I'll come back to a second. Harei Nazir Shloshi, of a guy says he wants to be Nazir for the next 30 days. He mentions 30. Nitma Yom Shloshim, if he becomes Tameh on the 30th day, everybody agrees. Even Rabbi Lezer holds here, Sasakol, you got to start from scratch. Now, again, as I mentioned last night, the Bavli explains this Mishnah based on the principle Miktas Hayom Kikulo. That we say part of the day is like the entire day. But we only say that by Nazirus, which is not a Malos, where he didn't mention a full 30 days. We say he wants a full 3 days in Nazirus, then we can't say Miktas Hayom Kikulo. So if he said, like the ratio says, Misham Harei Nazir, just generically, so even though he's a Nazir for 30 days, his 30th, if he comes Tameh on the 30th day, Tarakama holds that cancels everything. But Rabbi Lezer holds, since really it's the last day, and since the last day we could say Miktas Hayom Kikulo, so therefore, since he hasn't yet brought his korbanos, so he's not completely out of the woods. But he doesn't have to keep from scratch. All he has to keep is 7 days of Tumah. Then the 7th day he brings his korbanos, and he exits in Nazirus. In essence, what he doesn't have to bring, he does not have to bring korbanos of Tumah. Nor if he knows it becomes Tumah, he has to bring korbanos Tumah, right? And then start his Nazirus from scratch. He just keeps the 7 Tameh days, and then afterwards he brings his korbanos Tahara. Why? Again, according to Lezer, because we say Miktas Hayom Kikulo, he already basically finished his Nazirus. As opposed to the Seifa, the end of Mishnah, we're talking about Nazirus of Melos. It's in Nazirus of 30, where he says he wants to keep a complete 30 days. So there, even Rabbi Lezer holds we don't say Miktas Hayom Kikulo. He agrees we don't say Miktas Hayom Kikulo, and therefore, after on the 30th day, when he becomes Tameh, he undermines the entire period which he kept, because the entire period was 1 unit of a complete 30 days, and there he goes back to scratch, and therefore he cannot just keep 7 days, he has to keep a full 30 days. Okay? So now it says that that's good according to the Bavli. However, Yerushalmi does not hold this dichotomy. Yerushalmi, we mentioned, does not hold distinction between the Nazirus of 30 days and Nazirus of Stam, in that, well, by one we say Miktas Hayom Kikulo, and by one we do not. Yerushalmi does not hold that chiluk. So the question is, why does Yerushalmi does not hold the distinction? Why is Rabbi Lezer only arguing the ratio, where he became to where a Nazirus Stam, a generic Nazirus without mentioning a number, and whereas Rabbi Lezer does not argue in the Seifa, where you mention the Nazirus of 30 days. So Rabbi Yochanan says a fascinating thing. I'm going to learn this like the Ridbaz, and it's truly fascinating. Rabbi Yochanan says, "Mi Mitzorah Lamad Rabbi Lezer." Lezer learned the principle from Mitzorah. Now, one thing that the Ridbaz brings as a precondition for understanding this Mishnah is that when it says in the Reisha, the Rabbi Lezer says, "Lo Sasar La Shiva," he didn't cancel more than 7 days. The word Sasar is very, very intentionally placed there. The way the Bavli explains it, it's not that he was Sosar for 7 days. He has to delay 7 days to bring his korbanos until he becomes Tahor again, and then on the 7th day, or the 8th day actually, he can bring his new korbanos, right? After having gone through a period of Tahara, as it's Mace. But it's not a steal. It's not a breakage. Steer means a contradictor. Break is Nazirus. Rather, it's a delay, a postponement. The way the Ridbaz learns the Mishnah according to the Yerushalmi is Sosar Shiva Yomim. 7 days is Nazirus is broken. What does it mean Nazirus is broken? So it means that he, right now, has to count 7 days in order to take a haircut. Why 7 days in order to take a haircut? Because the Nazir becomes Tomei. Again, is the way the Ridbaz's story. The Nazir becomes Tomei, he's got to shave. He's got to shave everything off. That's halacha. Nazir Tomei's got to shave. Yet on the other end, a Nazir he kept already 30 days of Nazirus. He did. So it's not fair. Why should he have to shave? So the answer is he has to shave because that's halacha of Nazir Tomei. But unlike Tanakama holds, well then, once you shave, you have to keep 30 days, right? You have to keep 30 days in order to shave again. He learns that from Mitzorah. From Mitzorah is the one case in the Torah where we have two haircuts close together. The Mitzorah takes the haircut on the first day of his Tara, and again on the seventh day of his Tara. So from this we see that 7 days is considered to be long enough stubble that he can take a haircut. And he brings the Ridbaz, brings Rayas in the super long Ridbaz here, that in 7 days, each hair grows long enough that if you bend it, it can extend to the root of the hair next to it. Okay? So therefore, 7 days is a shiur for him to get enough hair to take another haircut. That's what we're saying. Why is he waiting 7 days? So he can take a second haircut. That's what it is. It's an amazing concept. So Sasa Shiva means his Nazirus is broken. But he doesn't have to keep another 30 days, because another 30 days means he has to start from scratch, and he did keep already 30 days. So he has to keep enough Nazirus to get another haircut. What's the shiur of Nazirus to get another haircut? That is 7 days. Where do we learn that from? From Mitzorah.
And yesterday we learned 2 days ago that the Mitzorah shaves in order to be able to shave again.
No, he shaves in order to grow hair. Yeah, he shaves to grow hair.
So that's not.
It's consistent. You don't learn the final shaving of a Nazir from there, but a Nazir who has to shave in order to grow hair again, you can learn out from there. The final shaving Nazir has no growth afterwards, but this is not the final shaving of the Nazir. Okay, so it actually can be learned out. It is consistent. Okay, so that's what he said.
Wine goes together.
Wine goes together, yeah. So assume you can't drink wine. So it said, Mitzorah told Lamed Rabbi Elazar, Shkei Matzino ben Tiglachas letiglachas. We find between haircuts by Mitzorah Shiva 7 days. Lama lo yalif lami Nazir Tomei. So why does he learn from a Nazir's Tomei? Which there you wait how many days? Nazir comes Tomei. How long does he have to wait to take a second haircut? 30. Why is he learning from a Nazir Tomei? He learns from a Mitzorah. Why does he learn from a Nazir Tomei? A Nazir's Tomei, he has to wait 30 days. Once he takes his haircut, Nazir became Tomei, takes a haircut, and then he has to wait at least 30 days to take his next haircut. Why is that? Because he has to keep his Nazirus over again, right? So why do we learn from a Nazir became Tomei? Lama Nazir Tomei. So he says, no, Mitzorah Megalech B'choyzer Megalech. A Mitzorah takes a haircut and then takes another haircut again. And this guy was so said this guy here also, we want to take a haircut now because he came Tomei, in order to then take a haircut again B'tara. So when do we need so that's 7 days, right? Nazir Tomei, however, Nazir became Tomei completely, and a Megalech B'choyzer Megalech. He's not Megalech for the express intent of making another Tiglachas. He's Megalech with the express intent of keeping the zeros for another 30 days. It's not that we're looking to give him a haircut. Here we're looking, in this case, to be able to give him a haircut. Because that's what he's missing. We came Tomei after keeping 30 days. What do we need to do? We need to give him a haircut B'tara. So we need to find the minimal length of hair which will allow us to give him something which is called, has a chalei shem haircut. How long does that take? 7 days. But by Nazir Tomei, we're not looking to give him to cut his hair. We're looking for him to have a prelude to growing his hair. So that's why there we don't learn from Nazir Tomei. We learn from a Mitzorah. Okay. Rabbanan de Kesarin Amrin beferish plihim. In fact, there is an explicit machlokas. Rabbi Yochanan Mitzorah lam Rabbi Eliezer. Yochanan says that Rabbi Eliezer was dispensed from Mitzorah. Rabbi Eliezer Omer the Tamar. Rabbi Eliezer says that min Nazir Tamei Lamed Rabbi Lezer, that the Tan Rabbi Lezer learned from a Nazir is Tamei. For her Rabbi Lezer, so now, okay, that's very good. So that's why we say in the ratio, Seiser Shiva, only can't cancel 7 days. Again, because he kept 30 days, now we have to be able to get him a haircut, the Tara. What do we need in order to get him that? 7 days. But the Gemara's kasha is, for Rabbi Lezer, my Shna ben Nazir, Shenazir, Stamli Nazir, Shenazir beferish. What's in between the ratio and the Sefer? The ratio is about Stam Nazirus, the Sefer is about 30 days. Amalos Nazirus. So according to the Bavli, it's Nishken kasha. The ratio is same mitzvah yom kekulo. Therefore, in the morning, he really became tar. How he can't do his tiglachas betara, that's why he has to wait 7 days and do his tiglachas, his haircut betara 7 days later. In the Sefer, it became tummy in the morning. There, since he wouldn't even set a full 30 days in the Nazirus, his Nazirus not over until the afternoon. So the nightfall. So therefore, that's why he has to keep 30 days, because it's as if he was source of the entire Nazirus, right? But according to Yerushalmi, it's not all of that chiluk. So as Yerushalmi learned difference between the ratio and the Sefer, says Gemara, a very interesting chiluk. According to Ridbaz, a fascinating one. B'shah, the difference is like this. B'shah shenazar stam, when a person takes a nazirus, stam nazirus, mirate eno soser. What happens if he rips out his hair? He doesn't cut it, he rips it out. What? What happens if he did? He doesn't cancel his nazirus. Because what cancels nazirus? Haircut. Not pulling out hair. Pulling hair doesn't cancel. He continues on his nazirus. Also, the shvish lo olam min minyan. If somebody was tummy, and on the 7th day, when he was tummy of base, on the 7th day, he declared himself to be tar. So, declare himself. He underwent the sprinkling of the Paraduma waters and went to the mikveh, and he came tar. So the last day, the day in which the morning he was tamei, in the afternoon he becomes tar, and that counts as day 1 for his nazirus. That's day 1. A nazir, however, that's only by a regular nazir. A nazir malos, he can't count the 7th day as the first day of his nazirus. He has to count from the next day. We only say mitzvah yom kehula by a nazir malos even at the beginning. If he was Tahar in the beginning of the day, because then I say this is a day of Tara, he needs 30 days of Tara, this is a day of Tara as well. But if he was Tamei in the morning, he can't count from that day, he has to count from the next day. Why is that? Because he needs 30 full days of Tara and he doesn't have it. So if the morning he was Tar, and then the afternoon he started becoming Nazir, so then that day can count. But if the morning he was Tamei in the afternoon he started becoming Nazir, that day can't count. So says Yerushalmi, what's the chiluk between Nazirus and Malos and Nazirus not a Malos? The chiluk is that in Nazirus Malos you need 30 complete days. In Nazirus of non-Malos, you don't need 30 complete days. What do you mean don't need 30 complete days? You don't need to have days which are completely tahar and you don't need to have days completely tahar, nor days which your hair is growing all the time. But a Nazir Malos needs to have 30 days when his hair is growing all the time. So that's what I'm saying here. My Nazir Shapiresh, B'shua Shenazar, what's the between Nazir, generic Nazir, specified amount of days? Stam, Nazir Stam, generic, mirate, if he rips out his hair, and so it doesn't cancel. Vashvi Shalom in a minute, 7-day counts. Of a Shah Shapiresh, 7th day after he became tummy, counts first days in the zeros. Of a Shah Shapiresh, but if he specified 30 days, Im Hoya Morate, if he ripped out his hair, so sir, cancels in the zeros. Why is it cancels zeros if he ripped out his hair? Because he needs 30 days of hair growth, and he impeded his hair growth, right? And the 7th day does not count. The 7th day after he was tummy, he cannot count his first day in his ears because that day didn't start out tar. So therefore, according to Yerushalmi here, just one second. according to Yerushalmi, by I have to add one more thing here. The Ridbaz brings down that Nazirus on the last day, Nazirus biyom malos, according to Rabbi Lezer, if you break the Nazirus on the last day, then you do not, that doesn't break the Nazirus. Why does it not break the Nazirus? Well, because Nazirus on the last day is not breaking Nazirus because it says it says, there's a portrait, it says, it says, Hayomim Arishonim Yiplu Ki Tomei Nizro. The first days of Nazirus fall because he was Matame his Nazirus. And that's why he has to count from scratch. Right? Hayomim Arishonim, the first days he kept are canceled, he has to count from scratch. From that, later on in the Sechta, with the paragraph, we'll learn out, Yomim Rishonim Miklal Diku Yomim Machronim. It must be that in order to become Tomei, and have it canceled in Nazirus, there have to be more days coming. Because it says, Yom Rishonim Yiplu, the first days. It must be, if there's first days, it must be last days, right? So if the last day of a Malos can't cancel in Nazirus completely. It can't cancel in Nazirus because, Yomim Machronim, there are no days left afterwards. However, on the other hand, by Nazirus and Malos, you have to have 30 days of hair growth. B'tara. Right? You need to have 30 days of hair growth. So that this guy here in our Mishnah, if he said, let's take a look at the Mishnah again, according to Rabbi Lezer. Misham already Nazir, somebody says he's a Nazir generically, Nidma Yom Shloshim, if on the third day, he becomes the 30th day he becomes Tamei. So Tanakamos Takasoisako, you go back to scratch. It's the last day of his Nazirus. Since there are no more Yomim Achronim after this, he doesn't cancel altogether. He's not canceled at all, as a matter of fact. Except he's canceled to the extent that he needs to take a proper haircut. How do you get a proper haircut? Only by waiting 7 days. Where do we learn that out from? Mitzvah. So he's not canceled to the extent that his entire Nazirus falls, but he's canceled to the extent that he needs a new haircut. How do we learn out where he gets what per shiur of haircut is? From Mitzvah. However, Hareni Nazir Shloshim Yom, if you say he's Nazir for 30 days, there you need 30 days of hair growth. It's not that the Yom Malos cancels. The Yom Malos doesn't cancel. He doesn't get Sasra in the Yom Malos. But there's a different problem. The problem is Rebbe, where are your 30 days of Torah hair? When you go to the Beis HaMikdash, we need to cut a 30-day growth of Torah hair. That's why if a Nazir Shapiresh ripped out his hair in the middle, he has to start from scratch. A regular Nazir who ripped out his hair in the middle, it doesn't matter. Because for 30 days he refrained from cutting his hair. But a Nazir for 30 explicit days needs to show up at the Beis HaMikdash with 30 days of hair growth to be cut. And this guy doesn't have it. So therefore he's got to start from scratch. Okay? The other difference between a Nazir Malos and a Nazir, regular Nazir, is again on the first day. A Nazir for 30 days, he doesn't need 30 complete days of hair growth. He needs to watch his Nazirus for B'tara. He needs to watch his Nazirus for 30 days. He did. Even though at the beginning of the day he was Tamei. But on 30 days he watched his Nazirus. But a Nazir Malos, in that morning he was Tamei, he doesn't have 30 days of Torah hair growth. And Mikzah Sayom Kikulo won't do you any good. Mikzah Sayom Kikulo will tell you that Sayom will not give you 30 days of Torah hair growth. It'll tell you that if you need to watch yourself on 30 days, over the course of 30 days, to make sure that you don't destroy your Nazirus, Mikzah Sayom Kikulo can say, well, after you kept or be for a certain amount of time, that's sufficient. But if you need to have 30 days of hair growth, then you need to have full 30 days of hair growth. Have I made it clear? What?
If he becomes Tomei at the 23rd hour of the 30th day of a Nazir Malos, so even
he's going to have to start over again.
Have to start over because he does not have a full.
Doesn't have a full head of hair. Does not because there's some inherent difference in where we say mitzvah yom kikula or not. When we say mitzvah yom kikula, we say it. If we don't say it. Doesn't mean if it's nazir melos or not. But the difference between nazir melos and a regular nazir is: do we require him to have kept nazirus for 30 days, or do we require him to have 30 days worth of hair? That's what causes the whole nafkamina, right? And if he doesn't have 30 days worth of hair, if he's a Nazir Malos, he's got to start from scratch. If he wasn't a Nazir Malos, well, as long as he kept 30 days in the Naziris, all we need to do is to give him a kosher haircut. So how long does it take to give a kosher haircut? 7 days growth. Okay, that's what the Mishnah says.
How do we get this halacha that already Daniel Sosa, and where did they come from?
Later in the Masechta, I don't remember exactly where. They don't bring it down here where it is? It's a Tosefta. Tosefta.
The lowest explanation isn't...
What?
You explain like the Bible.
Yeah.
It's an issue of Kitas Yom Kippur.
Right. I don't know if the Yerushalmi, I don't know if the Bible ever brings down this Tosefta. Maybe the Bible doesn't hold this Tosefta. There's no little notation on the side which indicates it probably is not in the Bible, but I can't tell you for sure. Says Yerushalmi further. Halachadal. Hareini Nazir Meyom. The guys here also we're continuing along with the Ridbaz Pshat. Person says he wants to be a Nazir for 100 days. Nidma Yom Mei, if he comes tummy on the 100th day, Sosar Sakol cancels everything. Rabbi says, even though he's a Nazir Malos here, you only have to keep 30 days. Not the full 100 over again. Why? Because there's the custom. Gemara will tell us why.
Because you need 30 days of hair growth.
Yeah, but why not 100?
Because the minimum is 30 days.
Yeah, but how do you know it's minimum? He said 100. Why don't you have to do over the whole 100? That's his God being there as a custom for that. Right? What's the problem? Complete term. Mole. Complete term. So our main Nazir Yom Nidba Yom Mea, if he comes to me the 100 days, so he has to start from scratch. Quite down a comma. According to the first time in Mishnah, Rabbi Lezer Mer Lo Sasa Shloshim only has to keep 30 days. Nidba Yom Mea ve'echad. What did he tell me on the 101st day, before he brought his karbanos? Sasar Shloshim, he has to go, given Tanakama holds, it's 30 days, but Rabbi Lez is more makel. He says, Lo Sasar Lo Shiva, it's only 7 days. I'm always going to explain all these things. Right, Lucky said, time Rabbi Lezer, what's the svar of Rabbi Lezer? Because he learned that from Zos Torah Sanazir, B'yom Malos. That's all equivalent for the Basik. This is the Torah Nazir on the day of the completion of his unit. HaMetame B'yom Malos, somebody is Metame on a day in Malos, Nosim Lo Torah's Nazir. And they give him the Torah of a Nazir, which means only the Torah of a Nazir. Which means how many days? 30. So no matter how long his Malos was, if he's Metame on the Yom Malos, on the last day, we only make him keep 30 days. Okay? Zosar Nazir B'yom Malos, on Metame B'yom Malos, Nosil Torah Zazir, he only has to keep 30 days. Okay? Why has to keep 30 days? Again, like I mentioned before, because 30 days he needs to get a crop. And the crop only comes for Malos Nazir in 30 days. Okay? Shmuel Barbar, should be really Shimon Barbar, but Shmuel Barbar, Baikun Rabbi Zira. He asked Rabbi Zira, this 30 days business, in last case it's also 30 days. It was 30 days. The Chiddush is that even if it was noted 100 days, that when he makes it up in the Nazir Milos, he only has to make up 30 days.
Why did Rabbi Eliezer say he said it?
He did only said in the ratio. And the ratio wasn't a Nazir Milos, because you don't need a head of hair. But here he said 100 days, he needs the head of hair. Okay? The Chiddush doesn't need a 100-day head of hair, he only needs a 30-day head of hair. Okay? Says the Gemara, Shmuel Rabba Boikun Rabzir. Nima Bosir, now he's going on the Sefer. The Sefer is talking about where he came to me in the 101st day. When he's become Mitami, those, let's say he became Tomei, he came to me in the 101st day, now he's keeping another 30 days, according to Tanakama. What if he becomes Tomei during those 30 days? Okay? What's the status? Now, the Ritba says that the question is these days are the Rabbanon or the Raisa. If they're the Rabbanon, and he became Tomei during these days, they don't bring a korban. If they're the Raisa and he becomes Tomei during these days, then you have to bring a korban. Right? Because the Nazir Tomei, the Raisa has to bring a korban. Nazir the Rabbanon becomes Tomei. Rabbanon don't have the power to allow you to bring a korban. They don't have that responsibility, that possibility. It's possible to have a it's possible to learn differently in the Rabbas and say that everybody agrees it's the Rabbanon. But the shaila is, when the Rabbanon made their takana, did they make the takana to be like the Doraisa or not like the Doraisa? I'll explain that is in a moment. But anyway, the Gemara asks, Nima Bosa Yomim, but it comes to me during those 30 days. Turn the page, hey, what's the status? Nita on the Torah's Nazir, does it have the same status as regular Nazir, the rice or not? So it says, Rav Shiva said, listen, I'll tell you. Came in the Tamer Nita the Tarasu Shon Nazir, since we're saying that he was Nitak, he's been changed. Not from 100 days downgrade to 30 days. The Tarasu Shon Nazir means to 30 days of Nazirus. Kimatame biyomulos. So therefore, he's like a metame on the day of Malos. From metame biyom Malos, that's why he comes to me on Yom Malos. Ain't shvi shalo shvi ola lumina minyan. The seventh day does not count as part of his. The seventh day does not count. Rather, he has to keep from the 8th day on. Now, what are we talking about exactly? Very strange. It's a very confusing Gemara. We're going back to what we said in the previous Mishnah. So in the previous Mishnah, that the Nazir is Matame B'Yom Malos, and on a day, remember, he's a Nazir who pledged Malos Nazirus. He comes Tame Yom Malos. So he has to keep a full 30 days, right? That guy also cannot start as new Nazirus on the 7th day. Now this is important to know. You become Tahar 7 days after you come Tameh. But that's on the day. If you need a Malos, can you start the Nazir's Tara that day? You need to have 30 full days, right? So therefore, when can you start counting your new Nazirus? Only the next day. If you're not a Nazir Malos, then you don't need 30 complete days. You can start your Nazirus in the middle of the day. And that means you can start on the 7th day itself. So this guy, so Rav Sime is saying, look, this guy, this Nazir, I don't know where he knows this from, but he knows this, that the Nazir at the end, the Nazir who became Tameh on the 101st day, he can only start his 30 days from the 8th day, not from the 7th day. If he only started his 30 days from the 8th day, not from the 7th day, that means that his status must be like, must be that, what? Like a Nazir Milos, yeah. 1 second. Yeah, so the way the Rambam learns this Gemara, the Rambam learns that when Rav Simi comes along and says, "Mikem and Tamar Nitla L'Torah Nazir," since he has to keep 30 days, Kimatame B'Yom Melos, right? It's like Matame on Yom Melos. Matame Yom Melos HVO Lumin Amini, and the 7 days are counted. He has to start from the 8th day. The Rambam learns that Rav Simi is saying, really, this guy is a Nazir Midoraisa. And he's a Nazir Midaraisa, so that's why he has all the chumras of a Nazir Melos. And that's why he can't start on the 7th day, he has to start on the 8th day. The Taisus and the Rosh and the Bavli argue. They hold that even though he has to keep another 30 days, it's only the Rabbanah. So according to them, when Rav Simi is saying that he has to start on the 8th day, not on the 7th day, it's not it doesn't go together with the fact that he has to bring korbanos, because he doesn't have to bring korbanos, because it's only the Rabbana. It's just that what we're saying is that called the Tikkun the Rabbana Ke'en Doraisa Tikkun. Even though it's only the Rabbana, they gave it the parallel status to Doraisa. Just like a Doraisa, you have to wait till the next day to begin your Nazirus, if it's a Nazirus Melos. So to this Nazirus Melos to Rabbanon, you have to wait till the next day to begin your Nazirus. So it's a very basic malakas in what Rav Simi is saying between the Rambam and the Taisvus and the Rosh. The Rambam holds Rav Simi is saying that the fact that they gave you 30 days for the 100, which you broke on day 101, indicates that the rights of that to give you these 30 days. And therefore, not only do you only start them on the 8th day after your tumah, because you need a full 30 days, but also bring karbanos for your tumah if you're in Tommy during those 30 days. According to the Taisvis and the Rosh, however, no, these 30 days are the Rabbana. And if you become Tommy during these 30 days, you don't bring a korban Nazir Tommy, because Chazal don't have the koach to mechayev korban Nazir Tommy. Hi, if that's the case, so why do you have to wait till the 8th day to begin this Nazirus of the 30 days making up for the 100 days? Because Rabbanah made it strong like a Daraisa, but it's not Mamish a Daraisa. Okay? That's Machlokes between the Rambam and the Rosh, and the Taisus and the Rosh. What's interesting though is the Brisker Ra, the Reb Chaim Shan, the Rambam, the Brisker Ra brings it down. Reb Chaim Shan, the Rambam is, why Taka? On the 101st day, do you have to wait another 30 days? Why? Even you say Nazirus of 100 days is Nazirus of Melos. You already kept it. So it's not fair to make it wait another 30 days. Doesn't make any sense. Tops, we should make them some wait, like Rebbe Lezer says, 7 days. So they should have enough hair to cut, because they didn't do a Tiglachas Tara yet. Why does they have to wait 30 days? It's not fair. So the Reb Chaim explains very nicely. He says there are 2 dinim by Nazir. What are the 2 dinim? Well, there are many dinim by Nazir, but the 2 dinim which are related to us, he says that there's a possible stira of the Nazirus and a possible stira of the count. So he says the count here was not contradicted, was not counteracted, because the count was 100 days. He counted 100 days already. He already kept 100 days. His count is intact. What he broke is his Nazirus. Because even after your count is over, until you bring your korbanos, you're still considered to be in the status, at least the quasi-status of a Nazir. But since you broke only your Nazirus and not your count, so you don't have to keep the 100 days over again. What do you have to keep over again? A Nazirus. How long is the Nazirus? 30 days. It's a very nice shot. So again, he said, it's a beautiful shot as a matter of fact. He says again, but according to the Rambam, it's Takadarais. According to the Taisvus and the Rosh, only the Rabbanan. So they made arbitrarily 30 days, so they can do whatever they want. But according to the Rambam, it's Doraisa. What's the pshat in the Doraisa? That there are 2 breakages. And here he only broke one of the 2 breakages. Had he broken on day 100, according to Rabbanan, that's still not Rebbe Lezer. Rebbe Lezer argues, because he says, Soser B'Yom Los only has to keep 30 days. But like Rabbanan, you have to keep all 100 days over again, because then you broke both dinim. You broke both the minyan and the Nazirus, so you have to keep all 100 days. But you broke on day 101, you only broke the Nazirus, not the minyan. So you have to keep 30 days and not a full 100 days. Midoraisa. Okay, that's the Pshat on the Rambam. Okay, now, the Ramana argues. Ramana says, if it's about kimetame, it should be. If it's like metame b'soch malos, if it's like metame within the malos, lamali seiser shloshim yom. Why is it 30 days? Why do you have to go another? Well, so the Rebbe explains a little bit differently than the Pashut Pshat. It says if it's imbecile, if it's like metam within the mlos, normally why do you have to talk according to opinion, meaning Rabbanan, that those are shloshim that you cancel 30 days on the 101st day. Lo yistor el shiva. Let's go according to the opinion, meaning Rabbi Lezer holds you only soser 7 days. Even according to him, the 8th day is not going to, you still cannot start whatever you're going to do until the 8th day, right? Until the 8th day you can't do anything because no matter what, if you're going to learn 30 days, you have to make up 30 days like Rabbanan, so those 30 days are the days of Malos, so therefore you can't take your next haircut until your 31st day. If you're going to learn like Rabbi Lezer, so the 7 days that you keep when you became Tomei 101st days, those are 7 days that you learn from Mitzorah. And Mitzorah also only gets its haircut on the 8th day. So what he's basically trying to say is that if you're going to say that whether you have to wait to the 8th day or can start on the 7th day is the raya as to whether this is the Raisa or the Rabbanan, or the raya to whether Rabbanan were Mesakin Ke'en the Raisa or not, that could just as easily been in discussion in the case of Rabbi Lezer. Because Rabbi Lezer is learning out from Mitzorah, right? So therefore, also according to him, you have to wait till the next day, either to bring your Karbanos or to start your zeros from scratch, because again, you can't, the Mitzorah himself cannot count on the 7th day, right? Ela ben Mitame l'achar melos shvi shelo ola min minyan. So rather, he says that it must be. 1 second. No, let me read you one. I made it much more complicated. I see I'm having a problem tonight making things more complicated than they are. Let me do the line over again. Ramana asked, if you're going to say that when you're matami on the 101st day, so if you're matami within the 100 days, normally say shloshim yom, then why? Then don't just say in Rabbana that you can't commence till the 8th day. Lo yisrael l'shiva. Even going according to Rabbi Lezer, who holds that it's 7 days, you also shouldn't start until the 8th day. Why is that? Because l'maisa you shouldn't make a till the 8th day, because then you should have to learn it from Mitzorah. In other words, if you're going on the assuming that nitma b'yom malos. If you're Tami on the 101st day, That's like becoming tummy on the 100th day. So you should always, whatever you're going to do, you should have to wait till the next day. Whether you're starting from scratch and counting 30 days, you have to start from the 8th day. Whether you're bringing korbanos and doing tiklachas, you have to wait till the 8th day. Because no matter what, either I'm learning that it's mamish nazirus, in which case, and it's nazirus of malos of 30 days which I'm keeping, so therefore I have to start from the 8th day because I need a complete day of Tara, or I'm learning from mitzorah, that I have to have 7 days of growth, and only on the 8th day, then go and take my haircut to replace the haircut which I missed on the 101st day. Right? So therefore he says, I don't understand the dichotomy you're making. And therefore I think that you're wrong. And this is an important point to make. He doesn't have a raya that he's wrong. Because the Rambam paskins like Rav Simi. The Rambam paskins like Rav Simi, which is the opinion before, which is that Takeh, the Nitma on the 101st day, the 7th day doesn't count. Ramona is arguing on his own logic, and he says, I say, and if you come to me on the 101st day, you can count, you start counting from the 7th day. Meaning that since it's pure D'Rabbanan, so therefore, both according to Tanakama, who holds you have to keep 30 days, you start those 30 days on the 7th day, as if it wasn't Nazirus and Malos. Why? Because since it's D'Rabbanan, they can be Mekel. And also if it's going like Rabbi Elazar, who holds that you have to keep 7 days you became Tamei on your first day. It's not like we learn out from Mitzorah, and those 7 days mean the same. I don't know, I feel like I'm hitting a brick wall tonight. Let me just say it outside. The Gemara's question was, in the last case in the Mishnah, where it says, you come Tamei on the 101st day, Tanakama said you have to keep 30 days in the Zerus. Rabbi Elazar said you have to keep 7 days in the Zerus. Right? The question was, is that the Raisa? Reb Shimon Bar Bo asks, is that the Raisa or the Rabbanon? Okay? According to, it's possible, according to Taisus and the Rosh in the Bavli, they was asking, is it stringent the Raisa the Rabbanon or a lenient the Rabbanon? What's the nafkamina between a stringent the Rabbanon and lenient the Rabbanon? The same nafkamina is between the Raisa and the Rabbanon. What's the nafkamina? Nafkamina is the 30 days he keeps. Does he begin them on the 8th day after he became Tamei? Because it's a Zerus Malos, which needs 30 complete days of Torah hair growth, or can he begin on the 7th day? Or, according to Elazar, when does he take his next haircut? Does he take it on the 8th day, because he learned out from Mitzorah? Or does he take it when he comes Tohar, which means on the 7th day in the afternoon? So Rabbi Simi said, it's the Raisa. Since it's 30 days, according to Rabbanan, that's an indication that it's the Raisa. Or it's an indication that it's a strong Rabbanan. So therefore you can only start from the 8th day counting those 30 days. Alokas Rabbanan says that, I don't understand. Why did you focus on the 30 days? The 7 days of Rabbi Elazar can also be the Raisa or a strong Rabbanan. Because then you can learn out from Mitzorah. And learn Mitzorah, that it's either the Raisa or strong Rabbanan, that it all starts on the 8th day. And then it comes arbitrarily. Again, it's important that it's arbitrary, because otherwise the Rama couldn't pass it like Rav Simi. So therefore he comes arbitrarily and says, my svara is fakir, is the opposite of your svara. Even though Rabbanan here made 30 days, that's not an indication that it's a Doraisa. No, it's a Rabbanan. Or it's not an indication that it's a strong Rabbanan. It's a weak Rabbanan. And therefore, you don't have to begin on the 8th day, you can begin on the 7th day. And therefore, if you're going to Rabbi Elazar, who holds that you're taking a tiklachas now after the growing hair again for a short period of time, you have to wait for the 8th day, you can do it on the 7th day after you became tar. Why? Because again, we're talking about in this case of the Seifa, where the tumah occurred on the 101st day, not on the 100th day. Okay? Yeah.
Isn't it one here changing something? He's saying that we're not talking about the Tame the soap pillows. We're talking about the Tame Lachar.
Right.
Like, what does that mean? What's the difference?
I don't understand it the way it's written. So that's why I explained according to the Ridbaz. Ridbaz takes it out of the shot. He uses like a major steam shovel here. He says, what he means to say is, why are you focusing on Rabbanan Shita of the 30 days? You say the same thing in Rabbi Elazar Shita, who holds 7 days. That's not at all Poshup Pshat in the Gemara. I don't have any other Pshat to say in the Gemara. That's what I learned to read past. Okay, new shift gears. Misha Nazar Vuva Beisak for somebody took in Nazirus. He took an oath of Nazirus, and he's in a cemetery. Now, if you're in a cemetery, you can't become a Nazir, right? Because Nazir is not allowed to become Tomei, right? Afilu Sham Shloshim Yom, even there for 30 days, Eino Elomin, it doesn't count. Veno maybe Korban Tumah, nor does he have to bring a Korban Tumah to come in Tomei, because a Nazir Torah became Tomei, brings the Korban Tumah, but he was never Tomei to begin with, right? Yosef and Ichnas, if he went out and came back in, then the count starts. Or maybe Korban Tumah, and then he became Tomei, he brings the Korban Tumah. What?
What difference does it make if the count starts? He has to start over anyway.
That's what you think. No. The count starts even though he doesn't have to start over. No, he doesn't have to start over. Yusuf is going to bring a puzzle. The moment he lets us leaves the base of forest, and the shiur starts.
What good does it do if it goes back in?
Oh, it doesn't do any good. It does him only bad. He's going to get flogged. It doesn't do him any good. We just want to torment him some more. It's only good for tormenting.
So his word that he wants to become a Nazir to register, he just doesn't become a Nazir until he leaves.
That's right. That's right. It's lying in wait for him at the gate of the cemetery.
So it's not like in
Breira.
Omar.
No, it's not a Omar.
That's different.
It's a real oath. It's a nether. Yeah, it takes effect. Okay? It's not like Dover Shlo Bololo. It's a Bolo. Okay? Maybe Korban Tumah. Lo bo bayom. No, he doesn't bring a carbon that became Tomei on that day when he became Tor. But it says, first he has to keep several days in the Nazirus. Actually, he has to have at least 2 days as a Nazir before Tumah breaks his Nazirus and he has to bring a Korban Tumah. Because have Yomim Rishonim and then become Tomei. But if he left the cemetery and immediately became Tomei, left the cemetery, actually went to Azoj and immediately became Tomei again, he doesn't have Yomim Rishonim of Nazirus, so therefore he doesn't become a Nazir Tomei. Okay? So it's not just enough to leave the cemetery, you have to actually have a couple of days B'taro first. Nazir Vuberak. What? No, because first has to go through a paraduma process. It's really 8 days. Because 7 days of Hazosh from paraduma ashes, and only then afterwards can it begin.
But I thought he's not a Nazir if he leaves after 1 day. So is he a Nazir?
Yes. He's a Nazir Tomei. But he doesn't bring the korbanos of a Nazir Tomei until he was Tahor and then Tomei. It's a tremendous chiluk, which Gemara is going to stress. I'm glad you brought it up. There's a Nazir Tahor who became Tomei, and that's the one who brings korbanos. There's a Nazir Tomei who started out Tomei, and he doesn't bring korbanos because he needs to be Tahor first and then become Tomei in order to bring korbanos. Okay. So Nazir Vuberak Paras, Rabbi Yochanan nevertheless Masrim Balayim Al Tiglachas. Here's an Afkamina. He's in the cemetery, but there are other Yisurim on a Nazir, right? Wine and haircuts. So he's sitting in the cemetery having an Irish wake. He's drinking wine and getting haircuts. He can get flogged for those other things. Even on Tumah, you can't flog him because he never was in Nazir Torah. Since you can't warn him on Tumah, a Masim Bolayim can't warn him and flog him on wine and on haircuts. The Chavashi does it. Rabbi Yochanan contradicts himself. It says elsewhere. He says that even on Tumah we can give him warning. We can flog him on becoming Tomei. Even though he's Tomei already, for remaining in the cemetery, we flog him some more. Nacha flog and nacha flog. But here it sounds like it's not true. Here it says only on the wine and on tiglachas. But in the case say akula pleading. He argues on all of them till they cross the board machlokas. It should be ve'alatuma ve'atiglachas, and all three can get malchus in the basic forest. So it's either everything or nothing. Rabbi Yochanan also agrees it's everything or nothing. Reish Lakish holds therefore it's nothing, and Rabbi Yochanan holds therefore it's everything. Right? Right? You can't give him a warning on anything. Right? Rabbi Yochanan holds to give him on everything. Odenu Shah, while it's still there.
How do we answer the Rabbi Yochanan's two things?
What?
How do we answer the?
We have a different girsa. The Frank goes, it's all three. It should say in the third line from the bottom. What? No, we misunderstood the first statement. First statement we thought it's only yain and tiglachos, but it's not. It's really all three. Okay? How so? Odenu Shom, Tabi Yudam Ralph explains it. While it's still there, Yochemar Masrin al kol kadei prisha. You must on every amount of time which you could have taken to leave the cemetery. But let's say it takes 2 minutes to get to the gate. So every 2 minutes we give him a warning. And for every 2 minutes he remains in the cemetery, we flog him again. Right? It's another Avera. Vuloken. No, he's got to leave and come back. For just staying there, he can't get malchus. He's got to leave and come back. Says Gemara, Amar Rabbi Bar, but said Kachi Amesh Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Lezer. Rabbi this Rabbi Yochanan respond to Rabbi Lezer. But it says Lo Yavo, Lo Yitamei. It says you shouldn't come in. But besides that, it says you shouldn't become Tomei. Right? What does it mean? It's true. The second lab is superfluous. Just say Lo Yavo. You should go to the cemetery. Why does it say Lo Yitamei? Must be even just by staying there he gets flogged. It's the second lab. It's one lab of actually going in. Not allowed for remaining there, Tomei. Amar Losa, Rabbi Losa said, no, that's not what it is. That second lab teaches us not a separate lab, but rather that it doesn't matter what you warn him. Also, take out the word Eno, they all take it out, Loke. He gets Malchus no matter what kind of warning we give to him. Rabbi Hillel said, Meishtachavoya Lamed Rabbi Yochanan. Yochanan learned his Yisai from bowing down. The Tziatam we learned over there, Hishtachave Osho Kidei Hishtachavoya. Bowing down here, we're talking about bowing down in the Beis HaMikdash. You're a Tomei in the Beis HaMikdash. If you bow down Betuma, that's enough rate to make you chayiv. What if you didn't bow down, but you remained there long enough to bow down? That makes you chayiv. What if you made there multiple times the amount of time it takes to bow down? That makes you chayiv as well. Okay? So that's where Rabbi Yochanan learned his Yisai from. All right, stop here for tonight. Rabbi say, if you can all make it on Monday night to Base Marriage of Lincolnwood, I would like to learn there Monday night at 9:15. Is that possible, Bino? Okay.